Okay, greetings YouTube. Thanks again for tuning into Wild Irish Bushcraft and Survival. I'm Chuck, your host. Okay, now again, as I said before in the past, that my reviews for things are for survival on the cheap and bushcraft on the budget. And today's no exception by any stretch of the imagination. Today we're going to review MTech Extreme's Jungle Survival Knife. Now, lots of people will deride MTech, and I reviewed other knives by MTech as well. And I gotta tell you now, whether or not you agree is here or there. They're not a terrible blade. All right, there's certainly no tops, there's no EC, there's no Ontario knife or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination. But they're not terrible. They really aren't. I mean, as far as knives go. Now, I've had the Extreme Juggle blade for quite some time, a couple of days now, say like 365 of them. Now, I've modified mine for obvious reasons. Not so much for the handle. I put paracord on there just to have it on there. Okay. The handle itself is not terrible, all right. But let's go over the blade and the sheath and everything else, all the particulars. First off, it's 440 stainless, all right. Now this is designed in America and handcrafted, mind you, in China. Now again, a lot of people piss and moan, oh it's China, oh it's China. Again, a lot of companies make their blades in China, so stop gassing on about that. Cold Steel makes their blades in China, as well as South Africa. Kershaw makes their blades there. Schrade, all right, a couple of and well-known names make them in China. Just because it's made in China does not delineate from the quality. But is that the case in this one? We'll find out. Okay, so the blade itself, and this is really an interesting little design in its right. It's got a sort of a tapered off tanto blade here with a saw. Now, I'll tell you right now, this saw is not working. It's terrible. It won't do the work it's supposed to. And the tanto blade itself, well, it's sharp, okay, and some people like tanto blades. I do. They're kind of a pain in the arse to sharpen, but by the same token, they do a good job. They're great for piercing. Now, and of course, we have the blood groove right here. A nice handle, to a degree, right? You have the pommel here. I mean, not sorry. The pommel, the hand guard itself is great. It's got two little holes, so you can make a spear out of it if you like. It's full tang and a nice thickness on that blade as well. Okay. And I like it due to the fact that the two levels here, one can do a lot of nice finite work, and while the other can do a little bit of chopping. And it's got a good balance to it for chopping and things like that. Now, how well does it do? We'll find out. Okay, that being said, for the knife itself, okay, we're not going to go a great deal on the quality of it now. It's not bad. Again, and 440 stainless. A lot of knives are made with 440 stainless, so you can't complain about that. I like the fact too that it has, well, the jib up here, right? Nice jimping up here, jimping nicely down so you can get some quality work in there. Staying down here, good jimping. For some reason or other, there's some jimping down here, but I can't quite, for the life of me, figure out why. Maybe that, I don't know. Anyways, the jimping down at the bottom as well. Nice solid handle. Again, as I said, is it Kydex? No, it's plastic, but a good intact plastic. Not terrible. Now this particular model here, I got for a song. It goes for like $40. All right, without being on sale. I got it for much cheaper than that. I won't tell you how much because I don't want to make you jealous. All right, and you won't be one after I start reviewing the sheath. Okay, the sheath. Look it's not the highest quality in any way, shape or form. It's really not that good. The stitching is already coming a bit out. It comes with a lanyard down here so that you could strap it to your leg, or tie it to your leg at least. And by lanyard I mean it's a black shoelace. the belt pouch here, not bad. It comes with a very sizable pouch. I will give it that, nice sizable pouch, which you can keep some extra cordage in there, as well as a fire steel. All right, so it's not a bad one. I mean, it's not terrible. It is what it is. They've got a little separator in there which goes down, a little plastic inset here, so it won't the blade won't cut the hell out of the sheath itself. So I mean, for the price, is it great? Hell no, it's not great. But is it god awful? No. I mean, it's not. It'll do what it's supposed to do. It'll hold your sheath in there and it won't fall out. You can adjust the blade. I mean the catch. So it's not bad. That's not great, but it's not bad. You also have some little straps in the back in case you want to strap it to your backpack or what have you. All right. So let's not dwell upon the sheath. It does what it's supposed to do, and its quality is what it is. All right. So yeah. Now then, the blade itself. Will it pass muster in a bushcraft / survival setting? Will it do the fine work like feather sticking, things like that? Will it chop? Will it baton? Okay, well, as far as batoning goes, let's get this clear. This is going to beat the living hell out of your baton stick. All right, it will. I'll tell you that right now. All right, it's really tough on that one. And as far as chopping goes, it's got a good weight, so it probably will do the chopping. But first things first, let's see what it does like for feather sticking or for me, like, you know, just general work and all. Okay, well, let's see. Again, it will do a little fine work here. Now, I don't know, hopefully I'm getting this one here. It will do the fine work, it will feather stick. If this was a better piece of wood, it might even do better. This is an old dried out piece of seasoned wood, hardwood by that time too. So, but it will actually do some feather sticking. I mean, by and large, you can get some feather sticking done there because it's a very sharp blade. I'll give you that. So you can get your feather sticking done. It will do the cutting. You can get your, your notches and things like that. Your number 7 notch. And I've used this in situations for survival in the past. So, fine work, infinite work, things like that. It'll do the work, okay? So, I mean, but again, a lot of blades will do, notching and whittling and cutting, and you could, make your tent stakes like so. So it'll do that. It'll do that, all right? You can get down there, do a little chopping and make your tent stakes or log trees off, even if you have to clear a little brush. It'll do that. Not a huge blade, but it'll still. So, yeah. Intricate work. Sure, it'll do that, no problem. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Will it baton? Well, let's find out, shall we? Let's say we're running with a bit of test creations and all, but let's give it a whirl, okay? Now, I'm not banking on the fact it's going to do a bang-up job, due largely to the fact of the split level here. So let's try it here, give it a whirl. It will be what it will be, okay? Now, we've tried a bit. And we'll see if nothing else, we'll just hope that the blade itself doesn't break. But as I say, look at it right now. You can see I'm literally chewing the hell out of this thing because of the saw itself. So let's get down into it, and we're going down. Okay, it will baton, but it was really. If you look at that, I don't know if you see that right there. It's the saw itself, which doesn't do any good. Believe me, I'm not going to even worry about demonstrating it. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't do it. But it is kind of tuned into that. But if you can get over that, entirely, it batons. All right. So you can do your intricate work there. You can cut your logs down to smaller size, whatever what you do for batoning. Again, it's kind of catchy here. If you can get it on the edge here like that or back here, brilliant. Okay. Doesn't seem to be affecting the blade. Again, it's a one piece. Now, if you want to, you could customize your blade. You could take that off and maybe customize it to your own need. Because the thing about it is, as far as like working goes, it does a fine job. But any stubbing you're going to do downward thrust, it has to be done backwards like that. You can't obviously go like that because it's going to murder the hand here. So any backwards thrust is back this way, like so. All right. But again, it's a jungle survival. So when you're piercing into the heart of the rampaging rhino, you know, you want to make sure it doesn't slip. Anyways, back to the test. Chopping. We could use this, but you know what? Let's go on a standard piece of glove here. Let's elevate this a little bit and see if it works. I hope you can see this. Now, again, because of the weight and everything else here, okay, it's got a good little hand weight for the size it is. So let's just take a look here, and it really does. It's a good sharp blade, and I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. But I mean, for the size of the blade and for the you know, quality of the blade itself, this is doing a pretty damn good job of cutting in there. I mean, hopefully you can see this. But I mean, if you look, all right, that's biting into that. That's really biting in there. Now, here's the thing, though. Because when it comes to chopping like this, you got to ask, you know, that you got to ask yourself, when the handle is already hot spots, right? Am I going to have to wear gloves while doing this? Now, I don't like wearing gloves when I'm chopping or working like that, all right? However, I do a lot of work with my hands close up and things like that, so I sometimes actually have to have gloves. It might do to the part that I have the paracord on there, but it's a bit runky on the old hands here. Okay. Again, like I said, if you look here, it does really get in there. Hopefully you can see this, but it does bite in there, and it might be due to the paracord. There's a little bit of a hot spot there. I will say that. Now, I have also used this in the past. Look at that. I mean, that really does bite in there. So it's gonna, you know, your small saplings, things like that, it's gonna get in there. Again, the saw, forget about it, okay, please. If you're using this to saw things with, you're gonna be there for a while, all right? So find something else, okay? But I mean, for the price that you get it for the price you'll pay for this. If you can get it at a special, I mean, you can go. Bud K has them for on special from time to time. Your Big Five, some of your you know, sporting goods stores will have these. So for the price you can get it at, is it a great blade? Well, it's not terrible. It's not bad at all. I mean, again, like I said, MTech comes with a bit of the McDonald's of knives, I guess you'd call it. You know, the fast food of knives, as it were. They spit these out left and right, no doubt. All right, but I mean, you see the work it's doing. You see that it. I mean, it does baton. It does the work itself. And a full-tang blade like that, and we're talking a solid piece of steel all the way through, and a nice thickness of the blade, which has a good weight to it, so that it does what it's supposed to do. For the price, I cannot deride it. I cannot deny it. Will it get me through a tough time? I'm pretty sure it will. All right. Will it last forever and ever? That's not for me to say. But as far as blades go, again, survival on the cheap, bushcraft on the budget. I got to tell you, on a scale of 1 to 10, I might give it a 7. Maybe a 7.5, all right? Because it's not bad. And again, you can modify it. I've done it, all right? You can do stuff for it. And the only thing I would deride it for, and again, it might just be me, is a little bit of a hot zone there, a little hot spot there on the hand. So, but a pair of gloves, bingo, Bob's your uncle, and you're all set, okay? So, it's not terrible. It's not a tops to home. It's not an easy Ratsedden. It's not an Ontario Matt Graham survival knife. But shit. I mean, for the price, you can't complain too much. So that's my summation. I'll give it about a 7, maybe a 7.5, in the whole scan of things. So I tell you what, if you can find one on the cheap, I would go and grab it. Why not? 1, it's an interesting looking blade. 2, you see it does the work. And 3, you know, what's the worst that can happen? You'll be out a few bucks. You won't be out $300 or $400, I can guarantee you that. But, yeah, I would give it a rating of that. And I'll tell you what, if you like what I'm saying, by all means, do us a favor. Leave us a thumbs up or comments below if you like. So again, that's my summation for this. Once again, for Wild Irish Bushcraft and Survival, I'm Chuck, your host. Thanks an awful lot for showing up, and we'll talk to you later on. Sláinte.